Hello, welcome back to Runaway Adventures. I'm glad you could make it. Today we're going to be talking about something that scared me for a long time, boondocking. Boondocking goes by other names as well. Rustic camping, off-grid camping, and boondocking essentially mean the same thing. It just means that you go without any kind of hookups, both water and electric. I believed a lot of the people out there that told me that to boondock, I had to have really expensive equipment before I could go. And I'm glad that I started going out boondocking to try it out before I bought everything that they told me to buy. On my first boondocking trip, I didn't bring much. I brought a cooler with ice and I brought this camper. That was really it. And I kind of took notes of the things that I wanted and the things that I didn't. So the video you're going to watch today is accumulation of things that I've accumulated over time, but you certainly don't need any of these to try it out for the first time. Actually, I urge you to bring the least amount that you think you'll need, and then you can add to it from there. I'm hoping with this video, I can kind of make boondocking a little less scary. I can show you the things that I have, and I can show you the things I didn't have when I first started, so that maybe you could try it before you buy all those things that you are told you need before you can boondock. So the first thing that I knew that I had to have was water. Now you can do that in many ways. You could just simply bring water bottles or a jug. But I started to learn that what I wanted was some kind of device that would allow me to pump water from my own source and then some way to contain that so I could bring it home. Because I'm a big proponent of leave nothing but footprints. So I just devised a very simple and cheap way of bringing my own water to be pumped and then to actually be put in. So let's take a look. So I simply have a 5-gallon freshwater tank that I just use those blue jugs that you get in any store really, and I just refill it. And then I use a 3-gallon tank for the gray water tank. And then just an old basket that I kind of just screwed a hole in, and that is just where I contain the water. I also have purchased this pump from Amazon. Like I said before, it was about, I don't know, $20, and it works off of a battery that's inside that you can recharge. You simply turn it on, it pumps the water out, and then the water gets contained in this container here. So the first obstacle that I had was the water. And once I got the water situated, the next thing that I wanted to tackle is I knew that I wanted some kind of power source. I didn't need that power source to be strong enough to run an air conditioner, for example, because I mainly boondock in the fall, winter, and spring. But if you wanted to, all this can be upgraded and you can get just about anything you want to run anything you want. But what I needed is just things like lights. I wanted to be able to plug in a phone. I wanted to run a fan, and even a low wattage heater I wanted to be able to run. So to solve the power problem, I decided to get myself a Jackery. I got a Jackery 880 Pro not because they are sponsoring me in any way. It was just on sale, and so I bought it for me. It works for me. Now, many people have many different opinions about all the different kinds you can get. You can do your research on that. This just works for what I need it for. So basically, you can plug right into this. You can plug phones into this. You can plug plugs into this. You can plug in 12 volts into this. You can plug in anything you need. I don't have any solar, but if you did have solar or you wanted solar, you could also plug solar into this. So it's a really easy unit to use, and you literally just plug stuff into it. So that solved my power problem. Another thing I knew that I wanted for inside was an ability to move air. Now, my Jackery 880 Pro will not run the air conditioner in this RangeRunner. So if you're looking for something to run an air conditioner, you have to get into some different kinds of batteries. And there's a lot of videos about that. I know nothing about that because I don't run the air when I am boondocking. What I do is I have a fan here that's rechargeable, that runs off of a battery. And if I need to, I can also plug it into the jackery. It's not very big, but it moves air around enough where it cools me off. Sometimes I need to get into heat. I have thought about a diesel heater. I haven't really looked too much into it, but that's something I'll probably look to in the future. But when it gets really cold, like in the tens and dips below zero, and I need some heat in the cabin, I did buy myself a little space heater. This is just an Amazon Basic. It pulls very little wattage. I think it's something around 250. So basically I plug this into my jackery if I need it. I usually only run it for maybe 20 to 30 minutes at a time, and the cabin stays pretty warm, even in those really cold temperatures. So I don't use it often, but it's here if I need it. Light is another thing that I knew that I wanted. Typically when I boondock, especially in the late fall and winter, it gets dark pretty early, so I want lights. There's three types of lights I use. I use these kind of lights that use solar. This one in particular, I bought on Amazon a packet of 4 for like $10. I like this one because you can have it on, you can have it all high on, or you can have it where it works off of a motion sensor. I have 2 of these in the kitchen that turn on when I open the back galley, and I have a few on the outside of mine. So that if something walks by in the middle of the night, it kind of shines and I can see that there's something outside moving. I also have gotten, because I do a lot of hikes at night, this is a headlamp. Again, they come in a lot of different kinds. This one is rechargeable. Everything I want is rechargeable, because then I don't have to throw away batteries. So this is rechargeable and it works for a long time with this lithium battery. So this was a good light for me. And then the last one I have looks like this. I bought it on Amazon. It is a desk lamp, and it is also rechargeable, and it draws very little power because it's LED. And this is what I use in the cabin. I like it to be mobile because if I need it for to move it around, I can. Typically, the question that I get asked the most with these campers is bathroom. What do you do about bathroom? And with boondocking, that is definitely something that I wanted to have incorporated into my system because I really wanted to have that for my camping experience. I also want it to be affordable and simple so that it wouldn't break down on me over the long time. So let me show you what I have. So the first question they always ask is toilet wise. So there's many different ways that you can go about a toilet. I use a lug-a-baloo, which is basically just a bucket with a seat. And what you put in here is just a bag, a trash bag. So I do use a portable toilet gelling beads. Basically you rip this open, you pour it in, and it absorbs any kind of liquid. So I do use these. I think I bought them on Amazon. I think it was like $5 for 40 of these. They're single use. You just pour them in there, and then it just gels up any liquid you have, which makes it easier then to transport and throw away the bags at any point that you decide. So that's what I use for my toilet solution. Again, if you don't like that solution, there's lots of different solutions out there. It just happens to be the one that's easiest for me. So this next item I didn't have for a long time, and I wish I would have bought it earlier. And it's a portable shower. The one I did is, again, I try to buy it that's cheap and that works well without having a lot of things that can break down. So this is a portable shower. Basically, it's a very simple process of filling it with water, pumping air into it, and then it has a garden hose attachment. You set whichever one you want, and you spray, and it sprays water. This happens to be 5 liters. I wish I would have went with the 8-liter one because this one gives me 2 showers, and I think 8 liters would have gave me 3. And I typically don't stay longer than 3-4 nights. So it would have worked a lot better, but the 5 liter is fine. I think this unit cost me, I think $15 on Amazon, and it works really well. I don't think you have to get expensive ones, but there are expensive ones. There's electric ones. There's ones that work off battery powered. There's ones that come with heaters. Just about anything you can think of they make, as long as you're willing to pay for it. To heat this one up, because it can get cold, I just put it in the sun during the day, and that typically warms it up enough for me to use. So for me, a privacy tent was also important, especially if I'm going to use the shower and the toilet. I went again cheap. This one was on Amazon. I think I bought it for about $19. It's the kind that just kind of breaks up like this, and it opens. So it looks like this, and inside of it, you put your shower, you put your toilet, you can change in this. It does stake down, and it does tie down, so it has many uses for me. So for boondocking, another thing that's important for me is something to keep my food cold. I did use an ice cooler for a long time, and it worked great. But what I found is that worry of, is the ice going to be enough, and what temperature is it, was more than I wanted to kind of put into my camping experience. So I did buy a Bouge RV electric cooler. This one plugs into my Jackery, and it works great for me. They do not sponsor my channel. I just bought it on sale. It was the cheapest one I could find, and it works great for me. But there are plenty out there if you're looking for something different. But this was important for me for the way I wanted to camp. Not that there's anything wrong with the ice way of doing it. This works better for me. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that it takes some of the worry of going boondocking away. I hope if you want to go rustic camping or boondocking or off-grid, you know it's not as scary as people make it out to be, and you should go out and try it. I would love to hear in the comments different things you use and how you go boondocking. And if there's any other things that you'd like to see on this channel, let me know in the comments. And as always, I hope I see you up the road.